Hi. First of all, thank you so much for trusting us in your child's reading journey. What you have with yourself today is Brainify's My First Phonics Kit. It is a kit designed by experts to simplify the journey of reading for your child. With the help of this kit, you will be able to teach your child how to read in the most efficient, effective, and enjoyable way possible. Now, the purpose of this video is to show you how to use this kit. The way that we have made this kit, you can start using it immediately. However, this video will really help you getting started. We'll try and keep the video short, cover the most important aspects of using this kit. And once you have learned this, then you can immediately start by using this kit to teach your child. So what does the kit contain? The kit contains 3 elements. One is a set of these phonics cards. These are sound cards. They're available in 4 different colors. We will talk about it. That's the first element. The second element are these word lists that you will have in the kit. The third element is this writing pad. We will talk to you why you need this writing pad. And the fourth element that you'll have is an erasable marker, which of course you want to use on the writing pad. So those are the 4 things that we have put together. The first section is about teaching you so that you can teach your child how to use these phonics cards. Now there are 4 different colors available. Like I said, we wanted to make it really simple. So instead of teaching you a lot of useless rules, if you ask me, about phonics, we will hope that you are intelligent enough, which we are sure you are. And thus, we will tell you how to use these cards in a way that your child will be able to learn these sounds very easily without getting into the complications of which sounds to read first, which not to read first, how to blend them, etc., etc. All of those have been eliminated in this kit to make it really simple for you to learn and for you to teach your child. Now, I don't want to spend too much time explaining to you what is the difference, what exactly is phonics. But let me just give you a very quick background about phonics. So the way that we learned during our days is that we learned letters. So we learned A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. But those are the names of letters. So A is the name of the letter that we know as A, or for example, this is the letter U. But in very few words is the name of the letter used, right? So for example, if you are making a word like up, what we use is the sound of this letter. The sound of this letter is A. That is why we call it up. The sound of this letter is not U, right? So umbrella, up, urchin, so many words which we have in English language, they actually word with the sound of this particular letter. And that's what phonics is about. It is about the sounds of letters. Once you know the sounds of letters, then you can start reading words, because at the end of the day, a word is nothing but a combination of sounds, right? So that is what these are. Now there are 4 different colors in this particular kit. Yellow and green are the easiest colors. You can start with any of them with your child. Blue is slightly more complex, and red are the most complex sounds. So that is the order that you should follow. You can start with either yellow or green. Both of them are fine. I would recommend you start maybe with yellow, only because it's my favorite color. But you can start with yellow or green, then move to blue, and finally to red. So because I assume that most parents are uninitiated in phonics, I'm going to spend the next 2-3 minutes in trying to teach you the sounds of each of these letters. So let's start with yellow, because I said we should, okay? So this is, the letter name, it's U, but the sound is A, as in the word up. Then this is Q. You know it as Q, but the sound is Q, like in queen, right? So this is the sound Q, queen. Then this is Z, as in zebra. This is L, as in doll. This is L again, as in lion. This is Y, as in yak. This is V, van. Z, as in jazz. It's the same as the Z in zebra. Yeah. This is F, as in cliff. This is woo, W, that we call W. But imagine I'm saying W and trying to read whale. So this is woo for whale, not V, woo, whale. This is F, as in frog. This is J as in jar. This is H as in hen. This is E as in egg. This is B as in bat. This is S as in kiss. This is X, X-ray. So while this is called X, but the sound is X because, for example, when you say hexagon, you write X. So the sound is X as in X-ray. This is R as in rat. This is K as in duck. Yeah, K, duck. So these are the yellow sounds. Again, they're fairly simple. Your child can learn them easily. There is very little complication involved. Then the next one are the green sounds. These are even easier because these are actually just single letters. So let's just go with them. O as in orange. G as in goat. K as in cat. K as in koala. P as in pen. A, ant. D, dog. T, tap. I, like iguana or ink. M, moon. N, net. S, sun. So these are the green sounds. As you can see, these were single letters, so they are even easier. Then we come to more blended sounds. This is E as in bee. O, O like boat. Sh, shoe. This is A, train. This is R as in scarf. This is I like light. This is or as in fork. This is ng like swing. This is chicken. This is like church. This is ow as in cow or owl. This is th as in thumb. And this is oo as in boot. So that's the third set of sounds. And finally, the fourth set, oi, oi, like in coin, ear, like here, like picture, once again, like in tiger, and finally, air, like in hair. So these are the sounds, and as you can see, they're fairly simple because once you see the words that, the words on the back of the cards, you'll be able to understand what something sounds like. So this is K, not CK. This is K, like in duck. So it's fairly simple for you, and it's very intuitive for your child as well once you start using these. How do you use these phonics cards with your child? Since most of you are probably exposed to flashcards, I will use the examples of how you use flashcards. That's the way that you use these cards with your child. So you start by saying S, like sun, N, like net, M, like moon. And that's it. You keep going over these cards. Start with the green or the yellow cards. Like I said, do that over a period of time. So you can do the green cards or the yellow cards for a period of about 2 to 3 weeks. These are the biggest sets of cards as you will have. And in 2 to 3 weeks, as you do it every day, only for 5 to 10 minutes a day, you don't need to do it for a long period of time. But if you do it for 5 to 10 minutes every day, hopefully if you can do it twice a day, that's even great. But even if you do it only once a day, you'll see that your child will start remembering these sounds. So you start with the yellow and the green cards. Once you're done with the yellow and green cards, then you move on to the blue cards and finally to the red cards. That's the sequence that you should follow when you start teaching. In about a month's time, your child will remember most of these sounds, right? So when you show your child a card and say, what is this sound? The child will say, k, like duck. And that is the beginning of the journey. Once the child starts recognizing these sounds, then the child is already on the journey to start reading. So in about a month's time, there are 49 of these cards that you have in front of you. Of these 49 sounds, your child will remember most of them. Hopefully, more than 30, maybe even 40 or 45, maybe all 49. Doesn't matter, so long as your child remembers about 30 to 40 sounds, you can move on to the next step of teaching your child how to read. And keep doing this. So while in the first month you have covered all of the sounds with your child, in a period of about 2 to 3 months your child will remember all of these sounds, and the building blocks are now in place. So after the first month, just to make the game a little more fun, we start introducing words to your child, right? And that's why you have these word lists in this. These word lists have been compiled again from day 1 to day 30 to make sure that you progressively take your child forward. It's fairly easy. For every day we have only kept 10 words. So, within 5 minutes or within 10 minutes, you'll be able to cover all of these words with your child. Now, how should you use the word list along with this writing pad? So there is a reason that we have provided the writing pad and not just a list of words to show to your child, because as you write, you can show to your child how sounds blend well, right? So for example, if we start with day 1, there is a sound called mat, right? So how you use the writing pad? You use this marker and you show to your child how the sound of mat comes together. So you say a and t, a, t, mat. That is how you show your child how the sounds blend together to make a word, right? And because by the 30th day your child recognizes most of the sounds automatically, you can play this game very easily with the child. So you can say, okay, what is this sound? And the child says j. Then you say, what is this sound? The child says a. Then this sound is m. So j, a, m, jam. That is the sound that you're making. It's fairly easy, very straightforward, and that is how you use the word list and the writing pad together to teach your child blending. Now it's important that we have not given more cards to put together. We have given you very clear lists of words to be used and a writing pad, because this is the most efficient way to do this, rather than some other people who will say give them some cards, try and put cards together, etc. It's much easier when you're writing and saying the sound to your child, because your child is looking at you in the process, and that is how children learn. So this is how you need to be using Brainify's My First Phonics Kit. And like you see, it can be a very enjoyable process. The most important thing that we have learned in the last many years of working with experts, understanding child psychology, understanding how learning happens, is that children learn the best when they feel loved and when they enjoy the process. So please, while you're doing all of this, don't feel any kind of stress. Have an enjoyable time with your child and love your child in the process. That is when your child will learn the best. And finally, as you use the kit, start doing one more thing. Maybe after the first month, where you've taught your child all the sounds and the child has learned how to sound out these letters, is when you read to your child, start pointing out the sounds to the child during the reading process. Now, make sure that you're not doing it for every word, but once, as you go through a sentence, or maybe on one particular page, you pick up a word and see cat, cat, so that the child starts recognizing that whatever you're doing through the day, while you're playing the game of My First Phonics Kit, or as you're learning, that is applicable to these books, and the child will be able to put these things together. So this is how you use Brainify's My First Phonics Kit. We're always willing to help you. You can refer to this video at any point in time. If you have any confusion, you can reach out to us, and just enjoy this journey. And within 60 to 90 days, you'll be surprised that your child is already reading things, and not just simple words. You will be able to see your child being able to read a little bit of sentences as well. And that's the start you want to give to your child, because from here, the journey becomes easier and easier every day. So all the very best to you and to your child. We wish you the best. May God bless you all. Bye.